There are so many different KPIs to choose from in the contact center industry. So how should you select the right KPIs for your contact center? Hi, I'm Attila. In our last video, I talked about important inbound call handling metrics. In this video, I will show you how you can calculate and improve your inbound KPIs using these metrics. Let's get started. I go through a lot of white papers, blog entries, and videos about contact center KPIs. Recently, I checked the annual report of a big contact center software provider, and I noticed a huge mistake. They switched average ring time with average speed of answer in their inbound report. Of course, if you mix up your KPIs and your average speed of answer looks good, you will definitely be surprised when your customer feedback is the opposite. Measuring and reporting the right KPI, now this will make you and your customers happy. Top contact center KPIs. There really are a lot of KPIs in the contact center industry. There are standard ones like service level, abandon rate, and so on. And there are the specific ones only relevant for your industry and your company. One thing is for sure, there is a good reason why we measure so many KPIs in our contact center. Let me show you how to rank your KPIs in order of importance. In a questionnaire, 136 contact center supervisors and managers ranked them in this order: average handling time, first call resolution, customer satisfaction, abandoned call rate, service level, average speed of answer, wrap-up time, also called after-call work, and occupancy, which is sometimes known as agent utilization. Let's start with average handling time. The formula is the following. Average handling time equals total talk time plus total hold time plus total wrap-up time divided by all handled calls. Average handling time is an excellent indicator of performance, efficiency, and cost. Therefore, let me give you some more tips on how to reduce your average handling time. High average handling time can be the result of high wrap-up time caused by slower administration or less experienced agents, lack of call control when agents are not leading the conversation, and lack of system or internet knowledge because of less experienced agents who don't know where to find the right information. Or agents who do not follow the company processes. I call this the I know better attitude. And finally, repeating information over and over or spending too much time double-checking everything. Right after average handling time comes first call resolution. It seems pretty obvious that first call resolution measures whether your agent solved your customer's query during the first call. This is an essential metric for customer satisfaction, and it seems pretty simple, but it can be complicated to measure if your customers use multiple communication channels. Ideally, first call resolution is based on your customer's perspective. The easiest way to track this information is by asking your customer during the call and recording the answer in your CRM system. Another way of measuring first call resolution is asking customers to complete a feedback survey through the IVR. After the call, you simply ask the customer to answer a few questions and then transfer the call to the IVR survey. The formula of first call resolution is this: divide your first handled calls by your resolved calls and then multiply by 100. This will give you the percentage of first call resolution. Let's see the pros and cons of customer feedback surveys through the IVR. The pro is that you can save time by using an IVR system to collect feedback, and therefore your agent will be able to handle the next call immediately. It will also give you more accurate feedback as your customers will be more honest through the IVR. Cons. All customers should be asked for feedback after a call, but if a call doesn't go well, agents tend not to transfer customers to the IVR. You might also lose some of the data because customers may not answer all of the questions in the IVR. And here we go. The next KPI based on your ranking is customer satisfaction. Why is customer satisfaction so important? Over time, customers with positive experiences are more likely to become loyal not only to your products and services, but also to your brand as well. Statistics show that customers who have a positive emotional connection to your brand are less price sensitive. Highly satisfied customers tend to tell their friends and family about their positive experiences. So, in other words, they will promote your brand. With high customer satisfaction, you can increase your revenue and decrease the cost of serving your customers. The fourth KPI in your list is abandoned call rate. The formula of the calculation is the following. The abandoned call rate percentage equals total calls offered minus total calls handled divided by total calls offered multiplied by 100. Some companies exclude short calls from this calculation. These are calls abandoned in 5 seconds or less. A call abandon rate of 2% is considered good, up to 5% is acceptable, anything above 5 needs to be improved. Higher abandoned call rate might result in higher frustration, and if your agents have to talk to frustrated customers, believe me, they will have a hard time. Lowering, or in other words, optimizing your abandoned call rate will keep customer satisfaction on a fairly high level, which is the ultimate goal of a customer care line. There's a great strategy to lower abandon rate, and it's pretty simple. Let your agents know how many calls are in the queue. You can display the information on a wallboard, or you can share it through your agent's online dashboard. If they are aware, they will definitely care. You ranked service level as the fifth most important KPI in your contact center. 80/20 service level is considered to be industry standard. This means that 80% of the calls should be answered within 20 seconds. There are contact centers targeting 90/15, but this is not only challenging, but can significantly increase the cost of service. Let's see the formula. Number of calls answered within the service level threshold divided by the number of calls offered. Here, you can also deduct the short calls, but in this case, the formula will also change. If the waiting time in the queue is high, your service level will decrease. Having a large number of abandoned calls will also have a negative impact on your service level. If you want to improve your service level, have more agents seated. If there is an unexpected peak in your contact center, you can reschedule some agents from back office activities, or in the case of outbound campaigns, you can schedule some of your agents to the inbound lines as a temporary emergency solution. Besides inbound calls, there are other communication channels, and we have a service level KPI for those too. As we mentioned, service level for calls is usually 80/20, 80% of the calls within 20 seconds. For emails, the industry target is to answer 100% of the emails within 24 hours. It's interesting that customer expectations are here much higher. 90% of the customers expect to receive an answer within 1 hour. Live chat is the same as a call, 80/20, which means 80% of the chats should be answered within 20 seconds. As for letters or white mail, here you can take your time, at least compared to calls. The industry standard is 95% of the letters should be answered within 3 days. Finally, for SMS or messaging apps, 80% of the messages should have a response within 40 seconds. The service level is always closely related to the average speed of answer, which is the sixth KPI on your list. Please be careful with average speed of answer measurement, because you need to start measuring it from the moment that the call is being routed to a specific queue. If you remember our example from our last video, we started to measure average speed of answer as soon as Mr. Smith pushed button 3 and expressed his intention to talk to an agent. Average speed of answer needs to contain the time spent waiting in the line after an agent was requested and the ring time as well. But if you have an auto answer function turned on in your system, then your ring time will be 0. Agents can't influence average speed of answer, but it definitely affects them because the longer the average speed of answer gets, the more impatient customers become. Here you can use the same method we use to lower abandon rate. Show agents the call queue and they will speed up. An immediate solution to lower average speed of answer is to get extra agent resources. Your mid and long-term task is to optimize average handling time, focusing more on wrap-up time. Now, let's talk about wrap-up time. In my last video, if you remember, I mentioned that this KPI will cause you headaches. Wrap-up time is part of average handling time, and you have to closely monitor it. Unlike talk time, wrap-up time can't be monitored by listening into the call because it's happening after the call and therefore it's not recorded. So you don't really know what agents are doing during wrap-up time. High wrap-up time can be caused by a lack of process knowledge. Training can solve it. Administration tools that are too complicated, or agents have to use too many different systems. Agents leaving unnecessary comments in the system, they should only focus on the relevant information. When there is a high call volume, agents sometimes spend more time doing administration to give themselves some breathing space. And finally, the typing skills of the agents can also impact wrap-up time. The good news is that this parameter can easily be improved. I gave a tip about how to improve wrap-up time in the last video, Inbound Call Metrics, by creating a worksheet. Remember, the worksheet you generate for your agent can be used for evaluation and feedback as well. You'll be amazed how effective this method is. You can decrease wrap-up time by at least 20%. With the measured wrap-up time, you'll be able to set new reachable goals for your agents. Occupancy, or agent utilization, is the amount of customer service work or billable time an agent performs in a given period of time in percentage. In other words, the percentage of time an agent spends with call handling instead of being available and waiting for the next call. Of course, here we can include all customer interactions, email, chat, SMS, or any other communication channels, not just calls. This is a tricky KPI. Why do I say this? In most European countries, the amount of time spent in front of a computer monitor is regulated by law. Companies need to provide 10 minutes of non-computer activity every hour. This regulation is the reason most contact centers have a 10-minute break per hour. This means the maximum agent utilization per hour is 83.3%, 50 minutes from 60. What else reduces occupancy? For example, available time. If you handle 12 calls in an hour, but there are 20 seconds between each call, that's 4 minutes available time altogether. If you deduct this, your utilization per hour is 46 minutes from 60, which is 76.6%. Short training or feedback sessions also reduce the productive time of your agents. For example, a 30-minute feedback in an 8-hour shift will cost you another 6.25%. Available time has the biggest impact on occupancy, so you need to pay attention to peak times and schedules. If you expect low call volumes in a given period and you can't decrease the number of agents in the shift, then plan your training sessions for this time, or reschedule your agents to some back office activities and turn available time into productive time. It's important to mention that service level and occupancy need to be balanced. If your service level is too high, that probably means your occupancy is low. High occupancy can lead to lower service level, longer handling time, or lower quality. If agents are continuously answering calls, they get tired more easily. As you can see, there are indeed many different KPIs a contact center should measure. In this video, the KPIs we talked about are the most important according to you, based on a survey of contact center supervisors and managers. Use the tips I have given to you to measure and improve the KPIs in your contact center. Next time, we look at outbound call flow and KPIs, so stick around. Thank you for joining this session today. If you have any questions about inbound KPIs or you have any better ideas, I'd love to hear them. Feel free to reach us at academy@vcc.live. Also make sure to browse other content here at VCC Live Academy. Thank you.